This car right here I bought for just £500 for it to be my cheap daily driver. Which after hours of scrolling through hundreds of car ads, which I managed to stumble across the perfect car. So I had to buy it, and I managed to get it for just £500. To which I've had this car for a good few months now, and well, this is how it's gone. And as you can see, we've done a lot of mods to this car. Some of them are pretty random, some of them do look pretty good. But let me show you around it quickly before we dive into fixing any of the issues and then getting this car ready to pass its MOT again. So starting from the back, you can see we've got a big chassis mounted, it is mounted to the rear bumper by some wood screws and then to the top of the car here. And there normally is a big wing, which if I show you in here, we have a enormous rear spoiler for the car, which is sitting in there because, well, people think it's funny to try and steal it. Then also have a single exit, mid exit, horn exhaust, which is, I show you under here, you can see is very, very nice, which sounds a little bit like this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And then moving slightly further on from the exhaust, you can see we've got some Caliber Neo, I think they are 15 inches, yes, 195, 45, 15. Big old wheels. And then the interior of the car, that's when we've done a lot of modifications. Which, as you can see in here, we have got a new steering wheel, we've got suede on the dashboard, we have got flocked dash, which didn't go well at all. We've got a new gear stick, we've got an extended gear stick, and there's only one seat. The car is, yeah, pretty stripped out. Oh, and we've resprayed all the door cards in white because it looks cool. Enough waffling, Ollie. What's actually wrong with the car? Well, on the 9th of September 2025, yes, we ran out of MOT. Which means I currently can't drive this car on the UK roads. And it is now November and we still have no MOT and we've got a big list of jobs that we need to do in order to get it on the road again. But let me now take you around the front of the car because that's where it gets a little bit more spicy. And then here we have the front of the C1, I think my favourite part of this car. So let's have a quick montage. So as you can see, we have again the nice upgraded wheels. We have some nice upgraded brakes in there from the guys over at ProBike. Massive shout out to them. We have a new set of wings. We have really aggressive canards, which are just wood screwed into the bumper. We have an intake here for cold air, obviously, because of the induction kit we've got. I'll show you that in just a second. Light bar, because who doesn't like a bit of extra light? This here is a front splitter off of a Vauxhall Astra, I want to say, but it suits it really well. And then if I just come in here, pop the bonnet wherever the latch is, popped, we can show you the pièce de résistance.
You speak very good French.
Gracias.
When we lift this up and just take a look at how small the air filter is. Look, that's the size of my hand, that is the cone, and it is tiny. Along with the whole engine, it's absolutely tiny. The battery, for context, the smallest battery in the world. And don't get me wrong, there's a few things that we need to do in here. Also got a short shifter, as you can see it just there. We need to sort out the suspension because you can see that I've got some blue tape and some like rubber in there to stop the top mounts from bouncing around. Quite a few things that we need to get done in a short-ish amount of time, but once this car is back on the road, it'll be so much fun to drive. But before I start to fix anything, I think we need to modify it just a little bit first. And then we can crack on with like the ABS sensor, the brakes, the suspension, airbags, and all the things that need to be fixed for it to pass an MOT. So the first things we're going to be upgrading here are the speaker system. I bought some JVC speakers in here. The speakers that are currently in here are diabolical. Like, if you know these sort of cars, they are terrible. You could probably hear more sound out of a spoon if I'm honest, but oh, fucking hell, man. Ow. The C handle just went up my arse. Oh. Oh, that. So as you can see, the box is now open and this is the speaker that should fit in that corner up there and replace the old one. But there seems to be more parts than I expected, so it might be a bit more difficult. But first off, we need to get the speaker cover off, get the old speaker out, and then wire this one in, and fingers crossed, it all works. And this should come out here, like so. And then we have, what do we have on the back of here? That. I'm confusioned slightly. So after some faffing about with this, because obviously this has this plug connection, and that one just has these cables coming out with some copper on the end, and then basically what I've had to do is not take off that plug that's right there, but I've basically hardwired them in, as you can see, to the new JVC speakers. I'm gonna have to maybe make a mount so they go in properly, but they work. And I just need to do this other side now, take that one out from over there, replace it with that one, and then mount them all up. And yeah, we have some new music in this car, and we have some good sound. So that's one job nearly done. So let me crack on with the other side, get this side all back in and secure, and then we can crack on with the next job. So there we have it. The speakers are now all wired in, as you can see, professionally by me. But the only thing I'm going to have to do is with these panels, which obviously cover them for the, just to make it look a bit cleaner, I'm going to have to maybe file down or shave down that like ring underneath so it sits flush on top of them over there, because they're not obviously made for this car, but I've made them work, and obviously you can see that they're just held in place there. They're solid, to be fair, but I do need to kind of like just make some adjustments to these so that these fit proper and they look OEM. But obviously compared to these, those speaker sounds are so much better than these. So that is a good job, well done, and I'm surprised I could do it. So the next job, get this heater control out, replace this knob so it's not like the Sahara Desert in here. Well, that was a bit of a faff to get out. It is now out. It didn't come out as I expected. The design is slightly different as well. That's my original one. I don't think it'll make any difference. We will have to see. And oh, this is doing my head in, this thing. Success.
Great success.
So now that those two bits are installed, it's time we move on to fitting the original airbag back, because currently with this steering wheel, it will not pass an MOT in. Not only is it a critical safety feature, but it's mandatory to have one. However, you only need an airbag if it came with one from factory. It will also not pass its test if it has a warning light on the dash, and you shouldn't really remove an airbag because it compromises your safety. If I start the car up, you will see that light right there, along with the ABS light as well, which is something else we need to get changed on the front right hand corner. That cable is snapped, so I need to replace that, but first we need to get the original airbag in to get rid of that light, so this steering wheel needs to come off. Which the first thing I need to do is disconnect the battery, which then I can move on to the bolt holding on the steering wheel. And after that comes off, the steering wheel just simply pulls off, making sure you don't hit yourself in the face, that is. We can then realign the old steering wheel, fit in the bolt, tighten it up, and then refit the airbag, which then is just secured into place by two Torx bolts. And there we have it, the steering wheel is all on, literally as easy as that. So all we have left to do now is reconnect the battery, check that the horn works, and then hopefully the airbag light is gone as well. But I'm gonna miss having this steering wheel, but it will be back on, especially when we're going on track. So yeah, this steering wheel is sick, but for it to pass its MOT, it needs this one on. So the battery is now all reconnected. The moment of truth. Will the airbag light go away? I think we have to turn it on first. Check the horn works. No! Why is the horn not working? And no. We still have an airbag light. Why is the horn not working though? That's weird. I am a bit confused with that, so we need to look into that. That's made no difference whatsoever. So I think the next thing to do is find out why we've still got the airbag light, and more importantly, why the horn doesn't work. Why is that suddenly stop working? That's annoying. I've now got my reader all connected up to the car. We're just doing a quick scan to see what problems we have with the airbag, because obviously we replaced the steering wheel one. I've put the dashboard back in, but we've still got an airbag light, strangely. So I'm gonna try and work out what it is. If not, I'm gonna take this back out, put it back in, see if it goes again. What could go wrong? Basically, nothing is reading on this car whatsoever. As you can see, conditions of execution not satisfied, okay. So I think I'm just gonna take this off again, put it back on, make sure the connectors are fine, and then you go from there. Hopefully it resets it. So back off comes the steering wheel. And what I actually found out was that the cables in the back of the steering wheel plugging into the airbag weren't actually pushed in properly. So that was my bad in the first place. So we are now back connected up. Still no horn. Why is the horn not working? Let's start it up. We have no horn, but the airbag light has gone. Come on! Why is the horn not working? Yes. Yes. No airbag light, but the bloody horn doesn't work. But for the minute, I don't actually care about that. The horn, yeah, it's a problem, but the airbag light was more of an issue, and I'm so glad that that is gone. So let's move on to the next job, and I need to remove the bracket to the rear spoiler, because depends what MOT testers are like. Some of them, like, they can actually refuse if your boot doesn't open, so I need to take it off just to be safe. So now that that light is gone, I know the horn isn't working for the time being. I need to move on to the next job, which shouldn't take too long. And if you haven't already and you're liking this kind of content, then please consider subscribing. It's free, and trust me, we'll be able to do so many more builds of it. Which I should now be able to open up the rear boot. Wow, that hasn't been opened in a long time. I need to fit what's in this box, which in here I have new pads, a brand new disc. I've already done that side, just need to get this side done. And then I've got a nice new set of discs and pads on the front of the C1. Just take a look at that, they're well nice. And believe me this, I've changed a lot of discs and a lot of pads over the time, but this car has the easiest set of brakes to change on any car I've ever done. And then literally 10 minutes later, the new disc can go on along with the new pads. We can then refit the caliper carrier and then fit the caliper back on as well. So which we then, all we need to do is just put the wheel back on and then we're done. And there we have it. This car is now one step closer to getting an MOT, being back on the road again, and I cannot wait to drive it. But we've got one more problem that we do need to get fixed. So now that the airbag light has gone, we have one more light that we need to solve. And that is the ABS light, which I have got a new ABS cable in here, because when I did the coilovers, I might have accidentally snapped it off by accident. But yeah, we have that light on there, the ABS one, which if I start it up, you'll be able to see it doesn't go off. There we go. And that is our mission today to get rid of. So we need to get the car jacked up, get the wheel off, and then hopefully it's relatively easy to change this ABS sensor over. And I just don't think it's going to be. Which now the wheel is off, I can bring you in here and you can see that I have this ABS line here which goes up to a plug up here, and it is completely snapped in there. So we need to get it off and then hopefully replace it. Hopefully it's not too much of a bastard. I think for the minute we're going to need a 10mm, a hammer and a bit of luck. So let's see if we can get it off. And then, how the hell can I get that out? So I have come to a slight spanner in the works. Obviously this is the old cable that's out, and when I tried to pull out the piece inside, it just broke off. You might be able to see now that in here, let me get a torch, let me get some light. You will be able to see it's come off within the hole, which you can see there. So I have either the option of having to get a new hub or having to drill it out. So if you guys let me know what to do with that, because I think I'm gonna have to drill it out. But currently I don't have a drill on me because it's in my dad's van and he's at work, which isn't great. So I think for the time being I don't really know what to do. So I think for the time being, annoyingly, I'm going to have to call it a day there. And yeah, just see what you guys say in the comments below, and then either have to get a new hub or drill it out. Yeah, kind of stumped with this, but we've done a lot on this car to get it ready for its MOT. So there's one or two other things that I need to get done, and then I want to fit the other passenger seat in as well, but for the minute. And if you have enjoyed this video of me working on the C1 and want to see it more on the channel, and potentially be doing an engine swap in this very soon and making it maybe 300, maybe 400 horsepower, then make sure you leave a like rating, drop a comment down below, and subscribe as well, because I want to try and hit 2,000 subscribers. Yeah, I've been Ollie, this is my C1, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello!